Hey, I'm the Adler, and this is my 1998 Audi A4, and it's kinda snowing right now. And today I'm gonna show you how we removed this entire front suspension and uncovered a bit more rust. And by a bit I mean a lot more rust and broken parts and everything. Fun!
And there's also one other thing. I tend to not make smart decisions when it comes to buying cars, first of all. Second of all, I don't really get the timing right. It's in the middle of November. It is absolutely cold outside, absolutely freezing, so I might be just putting on a jacket real quick. And also because I'm that smart, I need to put that wheel back on, with that brake rotor back on, and the caliper that is hanging by it's actually not hanging, okay. That's positive, but the brake caliper needs to be replaced anyway, so yeah, fun story. When we drove this car here, and yes, we actually drove it, we had a bit of a seized brake on the back, and that kinda ripped the wheel bearing apart and welded it onto the stud. Yeah, that also needs to be looked at. Anyway, because I'm that smart, I already took this off, and now that I realized that I do not have any room whatsoever to work around here, I might want to get this car a bit further to the right, left, right, to your left, planned, then I can maybe work on it. I plan to do the entire front suspension on this today, and I want to get the entire axle out. This is gonna be a hell of a job.
So first off, I had to obviously jump the car, because the battery is flat, and that is the only way I can start the car. And now it comes to reparking the car. And in the middle I figured out, why not just repark every single car in my driveway? Well, when I say that it's my driveway, I actually mean my parents' driveway, because they allowed me to work in that area and have my car parked there, which I'm very grateful for. But obviously I do not want to be like in the way of any pedestrian people like coming into the house. The way has to still be clear, right? Speaking about my parents, by the way, my dad is probably gonna be a huge part of this build as well, because he doesn't want to let me just work on my own, and he's like also a very influential part in this project, because he literally told me to buy it. Well, that was then when I made a huge mistake, which was shut off the car and realized, I'm not gonna be able to start it again, and I need it further backwards. So after a little bit of running around confused and not knowing what to do, I figured that putting the jumper cables back on would be the best idea. So after a little bit of confusion from my side, I decided, hey, now it would be a good idea to actually jack the car up and put it up on jack stands. I even bought some new jack stands so that I can safely just lift that car up and just let it stay outside, even without the wheels attached. Getting the jack stands in place was also another challenge, because I ended up searching around for a while, the jack points themselves were kind of rusty. And so I was like, might not want to put it there if it's already rusty and it could theoretically push down, even if I have like the car up there and standing for a long period of time, which is probably gonna happen because I'm gonna remove all of the suspension parts and everything. This also the repainting, this will all take time. It's not a guarantee that the jack stands then hold up and not push through the actual body of the car. So instead, in the front, I decided to put them under the mounts for the anti-roll bar, which wasn't very clever because I also need to remove that anti-roll bar, but that is probably gonna be a worry for the future at some point. Obviously lifting up the car on putting the car up on 4 jack stands, so completely in the air, is kind of risky, and you really need to think about where you place those jack stands and not just on the jack points. But I figured that I made a really good attempt out of this, because the car was super sturdy, as you might see in the next few seconds.
Alright, so with the car safely lifted up on jack stands, let me quickly give it a real nice shake, and there's nothing budging. Alright, so with this done, I can try and remove the entire front suspension. This is the other side, also kinda rusty. I mean, it doesn't look so bad here, but let's look underneath it now that we have it up and good. Okay, this looks, there's a lot of gunk on here. That's oil. There's the oil filter. Doesn't look too old, to be honest, but yeah, we can already see that someone tried to patch up the exhaust with some exhaust cement, and I think that's gonna be in need of a replacement, which is not bad because I wanted to get a custom exhaust on this anyway, full-on exhaust system. So let's try. As you might be able to see, this tire, actually this rim, might need some refurbishing because there's clear coat coming up from here. That's not too bad actually. It is curved a bit. We can fix that with the tire still on the rim though. Same thing here on the passenger side. It's curved a bit. And the center cap doesn't look too nice anymore, as you can see. This will be refurbished as well. I think it's gonna be a job on all 4 tires. Passenger side on here. This brake rotor looks done. That's gonna need replacing. All the wishbones look bad, to say the least, and the caliper is definitely gonna be replaced. I mean, look at this. This doesn't look healthy at all. So, driver's side. This brake rotor is done. The caliper actually looks to be in an absolutely bad shape, to say the least. This is completely full of corrosion and rust and everything. Just cleaning this off might not do the job, so I will be replacing that as well. So brake rotor, brake caliper, brake pads obviously. The
Low control arm
doesn't look too good as well. It's still in decent shape. It's not completely broken or torn apart, but if we do the job, then let's just do it right. Also the up
control arm.
This will probably be a struggle to get this all off, as always. I'm gonna replace everything as well here, even the wheel bearing. That cannot be in good shape whatsoever. I would be surprised if it was, but first of all, now that the brake caliper is off, I can try and put it somewhere where it doesn't fall off. Alright, so one rusty brake rotor. This screw came literally stuck in the socket. I'm trying to get this off somehow. It does not want to. So now it's raining outside. I used the time good, and I got myself a kebab. Cheers.
First step now, as I already had access now to it, was the lower control arms. And as you might imagine from the rust state of the whole entire car, all of those bolts were completely rusted. And so I got some penetrating fluid and tried to hammer them, and nothing worked, basically. With working on old cars, I learned the lesson that you just have to have patience. At some point it will break free, at some point it will just snap. You're just gonna have to go with it.
So tell me, who in their right mind thought that this was a good idea? If you pull this bolt out, just like this. Actually, you can see it better from here. Because if you pull this thing out, or try to pull it out, it literally hits the frame. How am I supposed to get this bolt out of here without damaging the frame, obviously? This is just stupid. What is this? There's even some brake lines in the way here. Alright, this came out surprisingly easy.
And then, out of pure coincidence, one of my neighbors actually showed up, and we just had a talk there, and we just basically tried to remove the whole suspension together. It is always cool to have some nice neighbors and helpful neighbors. Also, some neighbors that you can actually talk with and have fun with. Really, really great stuff. And as you can also see, it kinda got dark outside. So yeah, we spent a whole bunch of time there.
So, with a bit of hassle and everything, I actually got the whole strut out. It came out with the axle, because I literally do not have this bit for the axle, which is unfortunate, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I guess I'm gonna buy that at some point. Anyway, the entire thing is out now, and now I can get on to disassemble it.
But for the entire disassembly, this is gonna have to wait until the next episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Make sure to subscribe to not miss any content, and maybe leave the video a like if you actually liked it. Well, and until then, later!